Good morning everyone, my name is Dodds. Welcome to episode 89 of Dodds Diaries. Today is Friday, 21st of May. It's now 20 past 5 in the morning. And today, I am heading back up to Scotland. Going to Edinburgh today, which I have not been for 2 years. And I haven't been to Scotland since December 2019. Now there's a few reasons for this trip. One of them because I'm obviously really want to get back on the trains on longer distance, which is what I'm doing today. Also, planning to do the North Berwick branch. Of all the lines that I've got out of Edinburgh, I think that's the last one I'm yet to do, because I've done like the line to Tweedbank, I've done the Glasgow lines, I've done up to Stirling, done the line up to like Inverkeven and that. So this time I'm just going to do the North Berwick branch, and that means I'll have finished them all off. Planning to meet up with one of my mates, Jake Neill, up there. He's actually up there in Edinburgh now as I speak. Also, it'll be interesting to see whether Edinburgh is actually busy or not during the coronavirus pandemic. Normally, millions of people all over the world visit the Scottish capital, but obviously with the ongoing pandemic there'll be hardly any people from abroad that'll be in the country at the moment, so we'll get a chance to see what it's like, see if it's going to be busy or not. Right up there today I will be doing Waverley Station spotting. I'll be going around the city centre, have a look at all the glorious sights what Edinburgh has. If we have time, we plan to go to the seaside resort of Portobello, which is in the suburbs of Edinburgh. All that, of course, depends on time. Starting here at Chester Street, and in a few moments I'm going to go and get the bus to Newcastle. A little bit early actually, so I think I might get myself some grub on the way. Now, let's enjoy today. Right, out I go. So I'm going to get this 0605 bus to Newcastle, the 21 service. Just got to walk to go across Northland. I'm hoping this rain holds off. It's been quite wet recently. Yesterday, before I filmed this, was quite appalling. And now there's some rain due today up there. Hopefully not too much. Walking over the East Coast Main Line, just there, down Northlands Street. Hey, I've missed doing this. Getting up early in the morning for a long day out on the trains. Just feels so good to be getting back into this once again.
Road, Memorial Cottages.
Passing under the A1. the glorious Angel of the North, who's been looking after us all during the pandemic. She is a beauty.
Next stop, Newcastle, John Dobson Street.
Over the Tyne Bridge.
Next stop, Newcastle, Eldon Square bus station. This bus will terminate at the next stop. When leaving us here, please make sure you have all of your luggage and personal belongings with you. Thank you for travelling with Go North East, and we hope to welcome you on board again shortly.
Right, here I am in Newcastle, walking down Ranger Street. It's 25 to 7. I'm quite early actually, early by about an hour and 7 minutes. Still though, at least I'm here, in good time. I think I'll get myself some grub on the way to Central Station. I've been fed, albeit a little later than what I would have liked. Glasses are steaming up. I forgot that the cafes and that don't actually open until 7, so I have to wait till 7 before I can get a bacon sarnie.
You need to have a reservation to board this service.
But anyway, today I'm travelling on the 0742 to Edinburgh Waverley, which will be an LNER Zoomer of actually 5 coaches. They can run in 9 car formations or 2 sets of 5s. Or even a single 5. So I've got a single 5 going up today. Now for a time it looked like this journey would not be going ahead. As you know, recently there's been problems with the Hitachi trains run by LNER, Trans-Pennine, Great Western Railway, Hull trains. Cracks have been discovered underneath the body. But thankfully those problems seem to be rectified. There might be the odd problem still on Great Western Railway, but up here it's pretty much all back to normal now. So I get to Edinburgh Waverley at, I'll just check it on my thing here. I've got an e-ticket by the way, so I use these now. At 9:22. I use an e-ticket. The only thing I have to be mindful is keeping my phone charged through the day. There's a few spits of rain, but hopefully this will all ease off. That's a bit of British rail magnificence. There's my train. think what should have been 9 coach has been decreased to 5. So therefore the seat reservations are a bit out of place. This is actually my first ride on an LNER Zoomer out of Newcastle, and I'm really enjoying it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 742 LNER service to Edinburgh Waverley. This service calls at Allarmouth, Berwick, Dunbar, and due to arrive into Edinburgh at 9:16. My name is Pamela, and your train manager for your journey today. If you need any help or assistance, you can find me located at the rear of the train by coach M, or please speak to any member of the team. Reservations are not applied throughout this service. This is due to a change of train set. If you have a standard class ticket, please take a seat in standard class. If you have a first class ticket, please take a seat in any first class seat. Please remember to social distance. Face coverings are mandatory on board all public transport. Please ensure you are wearing your face covering at all times, and that it does cover your nose and mouth unless you are exempt. There are plenty of hand washing facilities available throughout the service for you to wash your hands as often as required. Catering is also available on this service. For first class passengers, we have a complimentary at-seat service. For standard class passengers, the cafe bar is located by coach B, selling a wide range of teas, coffees and hot and cold snacks. We are trialling an at-seat service in standard class. If you scan the QR code at the back of the seat in front of you, or if you're sitting on a table just underneath the window, this will bring up our menu. Select your items and pay for them, and a member of the team will deliver them to your seat. If you don't have a smartphone, then as I said, you can make your way to the cafe bar in coach B. Please remember to social distance guidelines and wear your face covering.
Heating depot on these trains are fast. Coming through Morpeth. Where the train slows right down to a 90-degree bend. Many accidents on this bend in decades gone. So 20 mph restriction. into a very foggy Allenwell.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to passengers joining us at Allenwell. Do apologise that no reservations are applied throughout this service. This is due to a change of set. My name is Tara and I'm your train manager for your journey. If you need any help or assistance, please don't hesitate to ask myself or any member of the team. Face coverings are mandatory on board all public transport and stations. Please ensure you're wearing your face covering and that it covers your nose and mouth unless you are exempt. Next call point is Berwick and I.
See over there in the distance, that is Hawley Island. We're somewhere between Allenmouth and Berwick upon Tweed. It is quite a gloomy morning out there. We're just coming into Berwick upon Tweed, and that sea looks a little bit rough. So once we depart Berwick, just north, we'll head over the border into Scotland. And here's the River Tweed.
ladies and gentlemen, we're now arriving into Berwick. If you're leaving the train, please ensure you have your personal belongings. Mind the gap between the train and the platform, and thank you for travelling with Ellen Eon today. This is Berwick upon Tweed. Welcome to passengers who joined us at Berwick. My name is Pamela, I'm your train manager for your journey today. If you need any help or assistance, please don't hesitate to ask me or any member of the team. We will be calling in at Dunbar and Edinburgh Waverley. Do apologise that there are no seat reservations. This is due to a change of train. Reservations are not applied throughout this service. However, if you do have a standard class ticket, please sit in any standard class seat. If you have a first class ticket, please sit in any first class seat. Please remember to keep your distance from other passengers and to ensure you're wearing your face covering, which must cover your nose and mouth unless exempt.
And so, into Scotland I go. Just passed over the border. Fog has really picked up. South of Dunbar, down there's the A1. northbound and southbound.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're now approaching Dunbar. If you're leaving the service, please ensure you have your personal belongings. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Thank you for travelling in LNER. This is Dunbar.
Past Musselburgh. To the junction for Diaries or Twyfman, out past Trinity Devil. This is Portobello east. I've not been here for 2 years. quickly now. Go through the tunnel.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're now approaching Edinburgh Waverley, our final stop. Please ensure you have your personal belongings before leaving the train. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please take extra care when stepping from the train due to the wet conditions. Thank you for travelling with LNER. This is Edinburgh Waverley.
This is where I am till 7:30 tonight. Right, it's now 25 to 10. Here I am, Scottish capital, Edinburgh. I'm at Waverley Station and I'm joined by Jake Neill,
Hi everyone,
who's joined us for some fun today.
in the Scottish capital.
Yeah, it's raining a little bit, quite dull and cloudy, but we'll still have a good time. Now here, let's see what we've got today. We have a 385 over there. Now they were also didn't they have to be withdrawn?
A couple of the forecast sets had to be withdrawn because of the same issues that were affecting the 8.
Alright, because say them ones are built by Hitachi. We have a 158 down there, a 334 Juniper just down there. My glasses are steaming up, and I can see a Voyager I think down there as well. And this is going to Perth. 158 738.
Platform 20 for the 41 and service
It looks like a lot of the trains are quite quiet this morning. The one I got up from Newcastle to here was very quiet indeed. A few people did down at Dunbar, otherwise it was very quiet.
service to on the station. Thank you for your cooperation. Platform 6 for the 0943 ScotRail service to North Berwick. ScotRail Express service to Basel Queen Street via Falkirk High, calling at Haymarket, Linlithgow.
Great bit of British rail engineering. So they're ScotRail's short 4-coach HSTs that operate on services to...
Do you want me to fill in?
Yeah.
ScotRail's HSTs operate to Aberdeen and Inverness from Glasgow and Edinburgh, and they also are also called Inter-7 City because they also serve all of Scotland's 7 cities.
That's... Oh, right. I didn't know that with the 7 in. So that's...
So it's a pun of Intercity 125, but it has Inter-7 City.
All right. Thanks for that one, Jake.
That's all right.
Arrived at the platform 19, coming from Dundee. We have 66 746 with the Royal Scotsman. That'll now go off to Hamilton. Here we have 158729 operates to Tweedbank via New Craig Hall and Dallas Shields. On the right we've got a Transpennine Class 802 Nova 1 that operates to Newcastle. It just stops at Morpeth and then to Newcastle. The LNER Zoom Hitachi trains can run electric to Newcastle, but the Transpennines, Nova 1s, have to run diesel between here and Morpeth due to the power of the overhead wires. Apparently there's not enough to power them through Berwick and that. Okay, so we're on platforms 8 and 9.
I'm being the cameraman.
And the case of where the west meets the east. So we've got the 11 o'clock LNER to London King's Cross there, formed of two 5-car class Azumas, and right alongside it, a class 390 Pendolino by Avanti West Coast that will operate the 1052 to London Euston, and that service runs every 2 hours.
2 hours.
Out of here, as opposed to every hour.
It's a bit awful now for the LNER out of here now.
Out of Glasgow.
And Glasgow. Oh.
I would pick the one on the left because that's. I'll pick this one because that's my line. But which one would you pick? Put a note in the comment below.
I think for me personally, it would have to be the tilty train. But that's just my opinion because I live near Glasgow.
Let's have a fight. These two. Let's have a little.
Well, hang on. Let's make it.
There.
But I like LNER and I like Avanti. But which is better?
There's only one way to find out. Fight! Right, it's 11 o'clock now. Me and Jake Neill are going to go sign out. What we're going to do is let it bite and then we're going to attach the 1141 to North Berwick and see where we go from there. Right, we're walking down towards platform 7. We're going to attach this 1141 to North Berwick, which is a class 380 actually. 380 113. Journey time of approximately
about half an hour.
Half an hour. Still spitting with rain as we're getting the 1141 to North Berwick, and Jake here has some information for you.
We're on a 380 to North Berwick, and this is just one of I think it's between 3 or 5 trains per day that are ran by these to North Berwick.
Oh, interesting.
Because 9 times out of 10, most diagrams are always ran using 385s.
Alright.
And also worth mentioning as well that on this particular train, this train also came in from Dunbar just beforehand too.
Sounds interesting indeed.
Definitely does.
And we go in about
We go in approximately 9 minutes.
9 minutes. And that LNER Azuma is on an ACS movement. I'd imagine going to Craigentiny Depot.
It's funny in recent weeks because there's actually been ECSs that have been going to Eton from here as well.
Alright.
Oh, and I can confirm that that Nova 1 we see
Yeah.
earlier on, that was an ECS from Craigentiny to Newcastle.
Alright. Nice.
.41 from Edinburgh Waverley to North Berwick, and next stop is Musselburgh. Once again, passengers are reminded it's mandatory to travel with a face covering both mouth and nose throughout the journey, unless of course you're exempt due to medical reasons. Please do not travel if you feel unwell, avoid busy trains at peak times, and try to give each other at least 1 meter distance. Thank you.
Camera has messed it up, so I do apologise if you can't see that well. This is Craigentiny Depot, just passing. Just there, that's the line to New Craighall and Twybank. Right, we're now at
This is Drem.
Drem.
This train is for...
That LNER Zoom there just came to a halt, and now it's set off again, so it must be following probably a late running train behind it. Anyway, just up ahead is where we turn off the East Coast Main Line and onto the very small North Berwick branch line. those of you that have Train Simulator, you can actually do this route on Train Simulator. Download it from Just Trains. They were quite good sound effects, that. Sounded like planes swooshing by.
And there's also a little bit of history about this lane too.
Yeah.
Up until 2005, you used to have Class 90s and Mark III carriages working these services.
Oh right, yeah, I think I remember that actually.
And then after that, you had the 322s.
If only it wasn't so dull and wet, it would have been lovely scenery. Well, it is lovely scenery, but if only the weather wasn't so bad.
service for taxis. When alighting on the train, please remember to take your belongings.
Right, here I am at North Berwick, now 12:22, and now that I've done this branch, that means now I've done all the lines out of Edinburgh Waverley. This will go at 12:20. What time, Jake?
12:28.
12:28. Back to Edinburgh. It's just a single platform station, train every hour.
It's every half an hour on a Saturday.
Or every half hour on a Saturday, and I find, do they do increased in peak times?
It's every half an hour during the peak and hourly on a Sunday.
Alright, champion. It's a nice little looking station, this. When this goes out, we'll go at the front and we'll take another look, and then what we plan to do is get a train, the next one would actually get off at Longniddry and then get a bus from Longniddry over to Portobello. Right, here we are at a very windy North Berwick. It's 12:39. Here is the North Sea. Quite okay. Just over there. What's that over there?
I actually don't know what that is.
Jade doesn't know, but anyway, this is like the seafront of North Berwick. And this looks a very canny nice one. It's much better if it wasn't windy, it wasn't cold. Feels more like winter out here. Still, I'm very pleased that I came up here. This here looks like an older outdoor swimming pool. It is really, really cold today. It's honestly refreshing.
centre.
Right, so that's the Seabird Centre up there. So if you're coming up here for a day out, recommend it. Having walked up a steep bank, and now we're back at the single platform station. Here comes our train. That would be the 1328 to Edinburgh Waverley. We're getting off at Longniddry. And yep, it is a 385.
It's two of them actually. 6-car train.
It is, that's right, yeah, I can see that. So that means, will one of the cars be off the platform?
I think at a couple of the stations the rear coach hangs off, but we'll be in the front, so we'll be alright.
Champion. The train comes in at 5 miles per hour because it is on a downward gradient. And off we go.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard 1328 Scottrail service to Edinburgh Waverley. Train calls at Drem, Longniddry, Preston Pans, Wallingford, Musselburgh, and scheduled to arrive into Edinburgh Waverley at 1400 hours. Passenger safety notices are located in each carriage of this train. For your own comfort and safety throughout the journey, please take a couple of minutes to read these. We would also remind you that it is mandatory to wear a face mask or covering for the full duration of your journey on board our trains and at train stations. Unless you have a medical exemption, this should cover both your mouth and nose. Please also use the 6 carriages provided on today's service to maintain physical distancing of at least 1 metre. There are any passengers travelling in the very rear carriage, carriage number 1. If you are looking to leave the service at Drem, Longniddry or Musselburgh, please travel in the front 5 coaches of this train. Doors to the rear carriage will not open at these stations. And finally, advise passengers to have your tickets and smart cards available for inspection. Throughout the course of the journey, the ticket inspection will be in place. If you still require to purchase a ticket, please have a credit or debit card available for contactless payment.
We're just coming back towards the East Coast Main Line now as we approach Drem. It's a station I dreamt of.
Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform as you leave the train. The next station is Londonderry. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform as you leave the train.
Right, here I am at Londonderry station. It's coming up to 10 to 1. We're just going to do about 20-something minute session here. Now Jake has thankfully gone and asked the control room at Dunfermline for permission, so the guys watching on the CCTV know that we're here. With ScotRail stations, they do tend to put announcements over the tannoy to people telling them to stop filming if they haven't gotten permission beforehand. So what you do, you go on that, there's a help point there, go on that, speak to them, authorise it, and they'll tell you that's fine straight away, and of course the usual rules apply. And then after this we're going to catch the bus to Portobello.
The next train at platform 1 will be the 1400 hours.
Right, we're on East Coast Buses 124 that goes to Edinburgh. This is I think they're right street deck.
I think so.
Pretty much similar, hybrid free, pretty much similar to the ones operate with going north east on the 21. The journey time's about 20 minutes to Portobello. And we're on the A190 alongside East Coast Main Line, just up there. Right, we're now coming through Wallyford. We've just hit some branches. Still alongside the East Coast Main Line. It's just up there. Wallyford station. Oh, you just missed. It's up that way actually. Right, we're coming through Musselburgh, on the outskirts of Edinburgh.
There's that vintage bus again.
And I can actually see down there, there's actually a old AEC Routemaster bus down there, which I think is being used as a wedding bus, which still does happen. They can hire out old buses and to be used for special occasions.
Right, it's really cold and windy. We've come to Portobello Beach, suburb of Edinburgh. Quite an old seaside resort. People from Edinburgh would normally come here. It is actually quite popular in the summertime. We'll have a walk along here before we catch a bus back into the city centre. Really, really cold out here, but you know what? We're still having a lovely time out here.
It is really, really cold out here, but as you can see, the rain is actually trying to clear away. Just over that way, you're heading towards Edinburgh's Ocean Terminal, and then you can see across the Firth of Forth is Fife. So got places like Inverkeithing, Aberdour and Burnt Island, heading up the coast that way. This is a nice little resort, Portobello. This is the amusement arcade here. Quite popular during the summertime. Hot weather today, it actually feels more like winter than summer. Okay, we're on East Lothian buses, the number 26. It goes to Clarewood. We're getting off at Princess Street in the city centre.
Next stop, Royal Terrace.
Pretty much in the city centre now, as we're just coming up towards York Place.
Next stop,
I think.
York Place.
Yep.
Stop YB.
So where is the terminus of the tram, the eastern terminus of the tram system? Right, 5 to 4. Finally, here we are back in Edinburgh city centre. We're in the Princess Street Gardens. That's right, Princess Street Gardens. How could I forget that? There is Waverley Station down there. You can see 2 ScotRail 158 going in. This is just a wonderful city, this indeed. Absolutely amazing. And there's Edinburgh Castle up there, and we're going to be going up there, up the Royal Mile to there. Let's take a little walk along. Just up here, this is Scott Monument. You've got the Balmoral Hotel just up here. Now let's go, we'll go over to here. Over here is, of course, the famous Princess Street, Edinburgh's largest shopping street. One of the longest in Scotland, isn't it? It is. It is one of the longest in Scotland as well. Now, those of you who have Xboxes and that, you might happen to have Forza Horizon 4. Well, I do, and it's set in Edinburgh, and with it busy all that now, I'm actually used to driving Bugatti Veyrons and Koenigseggs doing 200 mph down this street and doing donuts outside the castle. But finally, after 2 years, I'm now here to see the real thing. We're now going to be here until I go home at 25 to 8 tonight. Right, so what we're going to do, which I always do in Edinburgh, is we're going to head into the old town and head up the Royal Mile to the castle. I have missed this city, and I've really looked forward to coming back up to Scotland. Honestly, I love this place. Having gone through a tough time in the last year and a bit, things are finally starting to look up, in my opinion. And because it is Scotland, there is one thing one or two things actually I have to have when I come up to Edinburgh. A deep fried Mars bar and a deep fried Snickers bar. £6 for pure bliss. As we take a walk up to the castle, see there is a fair amount of people around. It's obviously not as busy as what it would normally be. There's not really many tourists from around the world over here. Could be like university students perhaps. Still, it's nice to see a bit of buzz in Edinburgh.
And it says France for in.
I know, look at that flag. I wonder if maybe is that the French embassy? I do not know. But anyway, we'll keep walking this way. Well, here we are, at the top of the Royal Mile. And here she is. A beauty. That is Edinburgh Castle. Got the flag of the UK and flag of Scotland on the top there. And there's the Royal Scots Guards doing their little drill and march.
It's going to take us, like another 30 minutes.
Let's take a look at all the old town. That is Arthur's Seat over there. It's just all amazing, this. Everywhere you look in Edinburgh, there's always something to take a picture of. This is all amazing, this. We'll look at the other side of things. Now, I'm used to, on Forza Horizon 4, doing Dodds in a Bugatti Veyron, in this spot right here. Those on Facebook, you might have seen my recent photos of me burning the streets up. So what we'll do is look. So right across the Forth, we'll have a look at, see Princess Street down there. Looking right across the Forth, the towns like Aberdour, Burnt Island, Kinghorn, and then further up you've got Kirkcaldy, which is where I went in 2019. Still really, really cold up here, but the scenery, the view is amazing. You having a brilliant time, Jake?
I am indeed.
Lovely day, brilliant day, isn't it?
It's been a brilliant day in our amazing capital city.
Oh, I love Edinburgh, mate. I love Scotland, mate. See there, doing their march. Just keep yourself warm. Well trained. Still do the 1 o'clock cannon. Goes off at 1 o'clock. Is it every day?
Every day at 1 o'clock.
Every day. Now normally up here is where they have the tattoo and the fringe festival, but this year again the tattoo has been cancelled. Fringe at the moment is still going ahead, but that could get cancelled to see what's what with COVID and all that. This is all taking me back to Forza. I'm going down this street, 200 mph in a Bugatti Veyron or a Subaru Impreza or a Dodge Viper GTS. Right, it's now 6:20. Me and Jake are having a lovely evening here in Edinburgh. We've been fed. We went to Wetherspoons, the standing order. I had a Caledonian burger. It's got haddish in it. Lovely stuff. And a pint of Tennant's. Nice Scottish lager. And Jake had fish and chips and a Stella. Outside the National Gallery of Scotland.
Correct.
And Princess Street is over there. Here is the here's the Princess Street Gardens just here. It's been a wet day all day, and finally it's starting to dry up. Typical, isn't it? At the end of the day, and the weather gets better. This is a beautiful city, this. I always loved coming up here, and hopefully I'll be back next year. So, train home tonight. I'm going on the 1936 back to Newcastle. Normally I would be going on the later train, usually about 9 o'clock, but not this time. I'm just going on the just getting the times up. Just going on the 1936 service.
I'm on the 1913 cross country to Glasgow.
And then you change onto a ScotRail to Kilwinning.
Indeed I do.
I get back to Newcastle at 21:10, and then I jump on the 21 bus back to Chester Street. I've had a beautiful day today, despite the weather. Really, really enjoyed it. Now, just gonna chill in the gardens and Princess Street before going home. Here's my train, 1936 Doncaster service, on the 9 coaches, which is 801 210.
and very welcome on board the 1936 LNER service for Doncaster. Service calls Berwick-upon-Tweed, Alnmouth, Morpeth, Newcastle, Durham, Darlington, Northallerton, York and Doncaster. Arrival time 22:48. My name is Craig, I'm your train manager for the first part of tonight's journey. Throughout this journey, if you see something that doesn't look right, anything untoward or suspicious on our service, please speak with staff or text British Transport Police on 61016. By law, it's compulsory unless you are medically exempt to wear a face covering on this service. This should cover your nose and mouth and be worn at all times throughout your journey. If you are moving around the train, please do be mindful of social distancing and keep your travel tickets with you. Full ticket inspection now taking place. Please have all tickets and rail cards ready for inspection. Message shortly from our catering staff on board the service. Catering facilities are available on board this service until Newcastle this evening only. Catering facilities on this service terminate at Newcastle this evening. First call boys, Berwick-upon-Tweed, thank you.
In the distance there, across the Forth, further Forth. Typical. I was over that coastline today and it was windy and rain, and now it's pretty much dry out there. We're just passing Londonderry once again. North Berwick.
don't want them to be waiting. It's not that far anyway, is it? After all this walking, so now.
shortly be arriving at Berwick upon Tweed. If you're leaving us here, please make sure you take all your personal belongings with you. Thank you for travelling with LNER. and welcome on board this LNER Azuma to Doncaster. We will call at Alnmouth, Morpeth, Newcastle, Durham, Darlington, Northallerton, York, and Doncaster. The next station will be Alnmouth. We will shortly be arriving at Newcastle. Change here for trains to Carlisle, Hexham, Sunderland, and Tyne and Wear Metro.
Good evening, services approaching Newcastle. If you're leaving or changing, please remember all your luggage and personal belongings. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please keep your tickets handy as ticket barriers may be in operation this evening. On departure from Newcastle, this train will call Durham, Darlington, Northallerton, York and Doncaster. The train is now approaching Newcastle. Thank you.
Into Newcastle, just passing that Manners, which is there, and there she is, the Tyne Bridge in all her glory. other one goes to Doncaster. That one is going off to bed at Edinburgh. With bed as well out. Right, back in Newcastle, it's now 21:18. Back and catch the bus that comes past at 9:30, then I can get home. Walking through the city, it's brilliant to see nightlife finally starting to reappear. Not everything has reopened though, nightclubs are still shut until June 21st. Hopefully they will reopen then. I reckon this is going to be a very busy weekend. This is, after all, the first weekend in England, Scotland and Wales that all the hospitality indoors has been reopened since the lockdown. I need to get my bus from round the corner up here. Right, I'm home now. It's now 11:15, back where I started this morning. Time to end today's diary. And today's been another great day out. Now my days out are getting longer. That's my first full long day out since January last year. Also, finally I'm getting some mileage done on LNER Azuma trains. I have to say they're really good trains to ride indeed. I still think they're quite comfy actually. Much quicker as well than the old ones, and they take off a lot quicker. So today, my first trip to Scotland since December 2019. Went to Edinburgh, which I'd not been for 2 years. Now the purpose of this trip was a few things. Wanted to see 2 resorts, North Berwick and Portobello. See what that coastline was all like. Despite the weather, which was not really the best, it was cold, windy, rain. That didn't dampen our spirits. I still had a lovely day today. Also wanted to see what Edinburgh was like during the coronavirus pandemic. Was it going to be busy? Was it going to be not? And in my opinion, it was not as busy as what it would normally be for this time of the year. There wasn't really any. Well, there were still tourists around, but not as many as what there would be. So today I went, got the bus to Newcastle, caught the 0742 up to Edinburgh Waverley. What should have been a 9-car was actually a 5-car train. So therefore all the seat reservations were cancelled for that journey. No problem at all, I just means I could sit anywhere I wanted. At least now that I've took note, it means now I know which seat numbers to reserve on any future LNER Azuma ride. Got there for 9:12. Met up with Jake Neill, who accompanied us for all the day. Nice lad, indeed. Thanks, Jake, for guiding us round. Actually, without him, I think I would have been lost. For example, telling us what train we should get to North Berwick, what buses to get. Without him, I probably would have been behind. We did a good session at Waverley Station, seeing the Hitachi Class 385s. At first, I thought this train trip was not going to go ahead, because there have been problems with Hitachi trains, the 800 in the 800s and the 385s as well, because cracks were discovered underneath the body. But no, everything's been alright today. Saw the Royal Scotsman charter train come in to Waverley from Dundee, which was good. What else to say? Just I saw the usual traffic in that. Don't really see Class 156s operate out of Edinburgh anymore. I think they're over at Glasgow now. Went to North Berwick. Now I actually went on a 380, which according to Jake is actually very uncommon. I think only a few trains were diagrammed for Class 380s, so I had a ride on one of them, which was good. North Berwick I thought was a nice little resort. Quite windy, but just to get that sea air was very refreshing indeed. Then we decided to get the train from North Berwick to Longniddry. It was on a 385. 385s I think were quite good to ride on. Went on one when I went to Motherwell in December 2019. Once we got to Longniddry, did about 20-minute session there. It was good. Then got the bus from Longniddry to Preston Pans, and at Preston Pans I was like walking in a wind tunnel. I suppose because it was a more open resort. The wind was coming towards us. Still, at least that was mission accomplished. I got to see two resorts that people in Edinburgh would go to in the summertime. Then got another bus, Lothian buses, back into the city centre. And we went up the Royal Mile. Yeah, again, it doesn't look as busy as what it would normally be this time of the year. Most of the tourists were locals or anyone else who is in the UK. Went and had dinner in Standing Order, Wetherspoons. I actually had a Caledonian burger which actually had haggis on it. Haggis, it can be controversial, but I think it's alright. Also had fried Mars bar and fried Snickers. Again, something that's very Scottish, but I love it. I wouldn't recommend eating them all the time though. And just chilled out in the evening. Edinburgh is just an absolutely beautiful city. I think I need to maybe go for a couple of days or maybe 3 days rather than just going for there and back. Came back on the 1936 back to Newcastle. That train was actually going to Doncaster. Very quiet the trains were. I think it was only me and only a few others that were in my carriage. So the trains are still running quiet these days. Still not as busy as what they would normally be. Getting back into Newcastle, actually, Newcastle was very, very busy. With the restrictions easing, now cities are starting to become more busy, more vibrant now. Still not fully vibrant because the nightclubs have not reopened yet. Hopefully they will reopen in June. But it's nice to see life at night time finally coming back. Got the bus back. I tell you what, I do forget what buses are like on a Friday night. They do get a little bit stuffy sometimes. I didn't drive today because I thought I would have a little break from driving. Right, that's today done. Next video diary. Yes, I have another one booked. It's actually a three-parter at the end of June. June 25th to June 27th. And I'm having 3 nights in Birmingham. No, actually 2 nights in Birmingham. I go on Friday the 25th and I come back on Sunday the 27th. So I'll be looking around the West Midlands. I've also got a trip to Bristol booked. I haven't been to Bristol since 2010 in my early youth days. And also I'll be visiting Cadbury World, hopefully all being well. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next diary. Good night.